Welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast. This is episode 249, October the 10th, 2024. We'll need to do a special for the 250th next week, I think. Also joining me today is...
Greg Gamer 25, 249, 250. We should come on with party makers and all that stuff next time and we buzz them around.
I think you should dress up, Gray, for the next one as a girl.
Yeah, right. No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even Graylina.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Matt, introduce yourself.
I'm
please.
Matt, also known as Irish Guardian on Twitch. Hello.
It's an absolute riot. Hello, guys. You did not burn the house down last week without me. I'm so proud. I just want to tap you all on the shoulder, but you're too far away.
We tried, but
You tried, yeah, but every time you tried to light the match, it just went out. No, listen, apologies. I was off last week, guys. Just personal stuff going on. It's mayhem. I'm currently recording from my work at the moment. See, I'll give you a little sneak peek of all the shenanigans that's happening around here. It's all crazy, but I don't like missing podcasts, so we will use my saying, because Gray's banned from using it, which is to get the paperwork out of the way. A couple of important announcements, actually, to be fair. The most important one of all is always, if you've not joined our Discord, why not? And that's at discord.gg/Extreme Gaming Podcast, all one word. If you ever have any questions on PC hardware, gaming, or why Matt doesn't have better lighting for his camera setup, video setup, then just submit them in the Discord, or DM one of us, and we'll always do it on the podcast. We'll always read it out.
You wouldn't want to see me with full lights. Oh.
Yeah, maybe not, actually. I never thought of that one, Matt. It's a good shout. Where possible, we do a weekly gaming stream at the moment. For the next month or so, 5-6 weeks, won't be able to do that myself. If the guys here want to do it on the Wednesday, they can do. I'm without a PC at the moment, in between houses, homes, flats at the moment. And that's just Wednesday evenings, 7 p.m. GMT. Are we GMT? No, we're BST for
BST.
now. But it's coming soon. It's coming there. We're changing the clock soon.
+5 English time.
I'm so confused, man. So confused. But usually Wednesday evenings UK time, but we do a gaming stream for a few hours as well. We'll get back at it. And the other thing to announce, we mentioned this a few weeks back, but we want to announce it again because it's coming up in a couple of weeks. And that's a little gaming event in London called EGX that Matt and I, plus a few other people, will be going to. If you are in the UK and you want to attend this event and you want to meet her up with us and chew the fat or just talk crap and come round the stalls with us, please do. Reach out to Matt, Irish Guardian, or myself. Unfortunately, Gray's too far away and he always moans there's no game events anywhere near him. So
it's always that way. That's the way it goes.
It's always that way, yeah, exactly. So what happens when you live in a big-ass country, man?
I know.
So, yeah, we'll be going to that, and then we'll maybe the evening before be doing some kind of live podcasting from Matt's house, or we'll do a pre-recording and just get pissed the night before. We haven't decided yet.
From Matt's house?
Yeah, man. Hopefully Jansen will join us as well.
I'll bring a spotlight from Buckingham Palace. I'll bring one of them.
Three people on the camera. Can you imagine how chaotic that's going to be?
Yeah, really.
The Three Stooges.
You just put all your heads together on one camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just an alien with 3 bodies on it, to be fair. So we have many socials. We try to keep in touch with them as best we can. The main ones are YouTube. We're trying to build that up at the moment. That's just, if you look for us in the YouTubes at Extreme Gaming Podcast. Facebook as well, Extreme Gaming Podcast, same name there. TikTok, Extreme Gaming Podcast, and the only one that's slightly different is X, Twitter. And that's just the handle Extreme Podcast. We go live on all of them apart from TikTok because TikTok suck and they won't answer my emails.
We're broadcasting live right now.
Right now we are, we are. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing.
Twitter, Facebook, all going.
Where we are on Facebook, God knows. If someone knows where we are on Facebook Live right now, go and tell me, please. But yeah, so now the paperwork's out of the way. Boys, how you doing? I'm sorry I've not been around as much. Gray's been holding the fort down, so a thanks to him, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wanted to build it kind of like you do in a game, but it's kind of hard to do that. Oh, by the way, Mercian says I should get a flight over there and join you guys. No problem.
Yeah.
Just dump a flight.
Let's call up the chat so I can see it as well. Mercian, hello, my man.
Yeah, right there.
If I had a hang glider, I could have went out and let the hurricane blow me all the way over there.
Yeah.
Well, you need the hang glider. You
need
you need that special ability you can get in Shrouded, so that you get about 100 million boosts to go back up again and all the way across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Gray's on the right side of the country for that. So, but anyway, so you look very sophisticated with your glasses on, Matt.
Yes. He's like
I'm used to it.
He's like a young today. Sheldon.
Can you read with them? Do you see when you read? Do you have to like do the kind of old man thing where you pull them down? You look very seriously down like that. Yeah.
Only when I talk to people, I go. When people come to me, go. I need my computer fixed now. And you're like, excuse me.
That's it. When you got to get someone's
attention,
you
to get up. Tell me about your computer breaking.
Yeah. I could do that too. It doesn't look as good with. That just doesn't look as good.
A little special announcement, guys, or kind of add on to this, that from this pod onwards, at least for foreseeable future, we are going to be broadcasting somewhere else and tying in with another community. Now, I don't know how many of the folks from the other community, I don't know how many folks from this side will go over to the other community, but it'll be more the other community coming over to us. In my spare time, if you wish, I do podcasts on other networks, and I used to do a couple of podcasts for a big footballing podcast over here, what they would may call soccer in the States, and it revolves around my football club in the UK, and I may as well just say what it is because people just judge me anyway. It's Rangers, okay? So I like my football. That's my number one thing in life.
Where's the exit thing?
And I've done pods with them for a while. Heart and Hand is the Heart and Hand is the name of the community, right? And they're absolutely legends over there. And I reached out to them and I said, listen, you have room for other podcasts on your network. They do things outside, not just the club, but also football in general, and ad hoc they have a Simpsons show and other things like that. They are the biggest when it comes to what they do. And I reached out to the overlord himself and I said, listen, is there a space on your platform for our gaming pod to come across in audio form? Because if I send over the video with you two ugly mugs in there, he may just kick us off the network. So audio only is going across to Heart and Hand, which is brilliant. Matt, I don't know if you were supposed to be speaking there, but you were muted when you were trying to speak.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, okay, just checking. But anyway, so to the guys at Heart and Hand, hello. The reason I suggested this to that community is because they used to have a gaming show on there. Every couple of weeks they had about a 45-minute show, and they were just talking about gaming news. It was mostly about gaming news, not games they've played. We talk about new games we've played when we've played them, but that's not every week. And Gray's got a game coming up later, which we can discuss. But we mostly talk about gaming news and shenanigans and stuff, so I thought it'll fit into their platform very well. So hello to the Heart and Hand boys. Gray, do you want to tell them briefly a little bit about yourself? Introduce yourself slightly more for the Heart and Hand community.
Sure. Been doing the podcasts, all of us, but about 5 years now. Gosh, it's getting a long time.
Wow.
Prior to that, I used to do. I was in television and radio. I had a radio show for 10 years. Did a lot of TV production stuff years ago. Did that for a good 30, 35 years, and then finally retired, and then found these guys years ago. And we all got involved starting to do the podcast and stuff. So the podcast is like an extension of what I used to do, I guess. And we have a blast doing this. And I've been gaming since, I hate to say it, but I've been gaming since Pong, P-O-N-G, Pong.
Oh, yes.
Excellent. So, yeah, it's been a little while. Dating myself.
What about you, Matt? Introduce yourself slightly to the Heart and Hand guys.
Hello, guys. How's it going? I'm Matt. I've been an avid gamer for pretty much all my life. We were born in the 80s. That's what we do. We built it, we made it, we played it, we broke it, We made
Put that in
better.
a t-shirt. Put that in a t-shirt. That's excellent.
There you go. Look at that. See?
Yeah.
Pow! 80s power. Put on the 80s music. Okay.
And how long have you known all of us for then in the Extreme Game Podcast community?
Jeez, probably just as many years. Yeah. Even some people pre podcast.
You were on it longer than us. I think you were on it longer than Gray and I, to be honest with you, with previous ownership and whatnot. So
I'm one of the original founders.
Yes.
One of the founders. You should be a lot older.
I should be. Well, that's why I'm keeping this.
Throw some Gray in that beard there to match mine.
Yeah. Feel like was it the wizard? Wizard over.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a wizard, Harry.
Yeah.
So no, listen, thanks, boys. We've got Mercy in chat here saying I have a Ranger shirt, Trev. Do you? Interesting. There we go. We do have a tie.
You step on it after having a poop.
Yeah, thank you, Greg. You're the good man. He's pushing the buttons today because I'm using a laptop until my PC's back with me next month. So, I should have get the beers in, Matt. I never thought. The good thing about where I work, right, is I can't show you. I was saying this before. My work is I'm using the office today because it's quiet and it's not up and running yet. The castle, Edinburgh Castle, is right outside. And if I could turn the lights off, I would show you guys a really amazing view. But for a few hours every day, Monday to Friday, they have some beer and cider taps free of charge. I know, Scotland and free booze, it's a disaster. But they have 2 cider taps and 2 beer taps up there. Wow. They're broken at the moment. I wonder why. Yeah. But yeah, so hello. But no, I've not been here long enough to break them. So hello to the Heart and Hand guys. Listen, it was very similar to Dave, Marshall, and Sanders. So when they done the gaming show beforehand, we'll just talk about gaming news and talk shenanigans, and it's like an hour and a half to 2 hours long each week. So come across to our Discord if you want to talk more gaming, which is Extreme Gaming Podcast. Just search for that. We'll get on with the show. A bit of a longer intro, guys. I appreciate your patience. Sure. Gray, you have some gaming news to discuss with the peoples.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of stuff, and we tend to do what we can right away. Otherwise, we hold off for the next podcast. But one thing that has come around, and it's not really a secret, although people were treating it as such. The original first game, Red Dead Redemption, is finally coming to PC after many years. So that's kind of interesting. I don't believe, from what I'm reading, that they're doing anything new except for making it look better. Of course, that's a given. But for to wait this long, hey, look, I'm grateful because it's a great game. So that will be coming out. I believe it's going to be October 29th. So that's coming up relatively soon. Nice. I will check it out. I don't see a note here if you already own the game on like PlayStation, whether they're going to give you a break on the PC version. I don't see anything about that, but we'll see.
Do you know why it took so long, Gray? Because like it came out in the Switch, like last year or something. It took forever to get it out, and it's the zombie add-ons there as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm looking forward to whatever they're going to do with it. So I'm hoping that it's going to be a good port. I don't know who's handling the port, but ports sometimes are really good and really not so good. But that's going to be something interesting. And when it does come out, I'll probably jump on it and see what it's all about, because they don't make a lot of good Western games anymore. And luckily, at least Red Dead is good. I haven't heard anything about ever making a Red Dead 3, although that's been rumored off and on as well. I think a lot of companies are getting a little bit skittish about coming out with games these days.
GTA 6 is the priority right now, my man.
Yeah, I think so. So
you won't see one for a while.
Yeah, unfortunately. But if you do want to play good Western games, there is a couple out there, Red Dead being one of them, as well as Red Dead 2. So look for that on October 29th. This next piece of news I thought was kind of interesting. I've noticed a trend, I guess, with AAA companies that had the people that were basically behind some of the bigger games that they've done have all started fractionating over the last couple of years and going off on their own, doing their own thing. And I've noticed that the people that have left either Bethesda or other companies and gone on their own have all been more noticeable and more in the public eye than the main companies they left, which is kind of interesting. So apparently another vet from the Fallout crew decided to go off on his own and create one of his own games. He's made an RPG that he claims is 5 times the size of Skyrim. And I'm like, okay, that'd be pretty cool, because Skyrim wasn't exactly small for its day.
Just give up in life and play that, then you won't have time for life and that at the same time.
Yeah. And apparently there's a bunch of people looking at this game and very excited about it coming out. It's an indie game. This guy is basically Nate. His name is Nate Perkypile. Yeah, Perkypile, something like that. I'm not sure how he pronounces it.
Porcupine, what?
No, just Perkypile. I have no idea where he came up with his name, but anyway, he calls it a heavy metal. I don't know where the heavy metal comes in, but heavy metal open world horror game. So he's been working on it since 2022. But the thing that I thought was interesting about this is, guess how big the crew is that makes this game, or working on this game.
It's a Stardew Valley. It's one person.
One person, exactly.
Yeah.
But Stardew Valley, though, I'm not knocking it at all. But when you're talking graphics, it's not as involved. This game, there's a lot more graphics going on, and the dude is still doing it all by himself. So I was like really surprised. It's called Axis Unseen. If you jump on YouTube and you put in Axis Unseen, you will see some stuff coming up, and there is some gameplay footage that you can watch. And I've looked at some of it, and I thought it looks kind of cool. And I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing come out. I mean, I'm hoping. I don't think it's going to come out this year. It's going to be more likely next year. But it's getting really close. So I'm looking forward to it, because I think some of these people that have left the AAAs have basically left just in time, to be honest. Because once they left, within a year or so, some of these AAA companies that we've been seeing, Ubisoft, among others, have all been kind of tanking. Bethesda has problems. Ubisoft has problems. And these people are just breaking off and doing their own thing. So I'm really looking forward to it, guys. I really am. So there's a lot of stuff coming up. There is a demo of this on Steam. I believe it releases. It says it releases on PC. I can talk. PC October 22nd. But there is a demo, I believe, so you can download it and play it a little bit. So if this all goes down right and it comes out when it says it will, I'll jump all over it. We'll jump all over it, and we'll let you know what we think.
I've got two questions for you. First one being, how the hell can someone working on their own? See,
I don't know.
It's contagious. None of us can talk. How can someone work on their own make a game of this size? And second question, I've never played Skyrim, but I know of it, and I know how massive and in-depth it is. Yeah. To make a game 5 times the size, I am very skeptical.
Me too, and I played Skyrim to death when it came out, and I don't know, man. I've seen some of the footage. Like I said, it's not. I would say it's a cross between. I wouldn't call it a AAA. I would call it a near AAA if there was such a thing. But it's not to put any poo-poo on the game. It looks great. I'm just saying that it's not quite the upper crust of AAA, graphics, etc. But it's not bad at all. And I don't care if the graphics look like what I saw, but the story is there. Then I'm all for it. But how he did it alone, I don't know. And he's only been working on it, I guess, 2 years. So that's even more unusual.
I mean, the thing is, you can bring in a lot of assets, though, right? See, if you use an engine like Unreal or Unity or something, where we all know you don't pay until you sell a shit ton of copies, then you can use those assets for free, and you can get a lot of free assets in game. So a lot of it is like GUI stuff. So you're dragging and dropping stuff.
Yeah,
but it's still a massive amount of work, regardless.
Yeah, on one person. I mean, even something like Enshrouded had several people, not many, but several people working on it. And this is just one guy, so it's kind of like, okay.
I need to see it first. I need to see it first, Gray, because I was going to rip into the AAA studios and go, look what one guy can achieve. But until we actually see it, then yeah.
Well, regardless, as we talked about before, when we see games like Enshrouded and Once Human and other ones all coming out with small crews compared to the hundreds that work on games, or thousands, it just shows that you can do some things with only a small group of people, and it can be quality, and a lot of times it can be better than AAA. So that's interesting, to say the least.
It is.
Next item up is our favorite that we've been knocking like heck, and that's Star Wars Outlaws. Matt has put the most time into it, and yeah, it's.
Why, Matt? Are you a sucker for punishment? Were you really trying to get your money's worth for 1 month sub or something?
It's my kink getting punished.
I said other people use like whips and stuff. He just plays Star Wars Outlaws.
That's it, yeah. Just another bad one. Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing that gets me about these games is when they come out and they're not great, and then they sit there and try to patch them like crazy to make it better, and you've already lost your advantage on wanting to put out a good game that everybody was hoping would be that good. And I don't know if the patches it's a kind of like a too little too late. I'm not saying that it's not worth doing. Of course they're doing it. But apparently this latest patch is going to include more stealth improvements, speeder fixes. It's going to be available on all platforms, not just PC. It's 3.8 gigs, so it's almost 4. On PS5, on Xbox. This is really weird. 3.8 gigs on PS5, 4.7 on Xbox, and 5.6 on PC.
That's just down to the machine types, man,
I guess.
and the OS they use and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently they're making it more rewarding for us, they say, and by putting all the things in there that should have been there from the very beginning. I don't really see anything that they've been talking about that's going to improve the things that we were talking about in the last podcast or two, and that is the fact that, you know, like even Matt was saying, he goes into a city and he's the only one, and there's like no one walking around, hardly any NPCs. You can't interact with any droids. I mean, so those kind of things, I can't see what they're going to change in the game. They literally would have to go in there and like redo big parts of the game. But hey, look, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt when this patch is out and in. You know, maybe I'll go back just to see if there's something that's redeeming about it, you know, since it came out. But I don't know, man. It's it just was that we expected so much, and when we got so disappointed, it's almost like, you know, you taste some bad food, you're never gonna go back and eat it again. That's just the way it is. And that's kind of like the feeling you get from this. But hey, look, they're trying, so let's see what happens. But I have my doubts about it. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Too little, too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Way too little.
And speaking about companies that like Bethesda that might be going down the drain, we're back on Ubisoft again. I tell you, man, they're the gift that keeps on giving. Every week we have something to say about what the hell happened.
What is that gift? Is it cheap share prices per chance?
God, I don't know. Jeez, it's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So basically, there was an announcement very recently. I mean, like within the last couple of days, and they said that Ubisoft was planning on not one, but 2 Assassin's Creed games per year for 5 years. And I'm sitting there going like, dude, you worked years on the one that's not even out yet, and you're going to do 2 in 1 year for 5 years. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, man.
Impossible, unless you have a massive studio.
Right, exactly.
But even
well, no sooner does this come out that the very next day, they come out and said that, yeah, well, those things have basically been torpedoed because Ubisoft's stock is so low. And things are going like south, and they're looking for takeovers and to fire people that were managing things, and they're in a mess. They're completely messed. So I don't even know why they bothered putting out that announcement, because no one believes it. First of all, second of all, they definitely don't believe it when they see all this stuff happening with the company. So I don't know. I don't even know what to make of this. It sounds so dumb that I can't imagine it being true. You know, and even if they were to strive for something like that, wouldn't that mean that you basically have several other games either already done, Assassin's Creed, or nearly done right now?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Very good point, Greg, because you have to have some, you know, irons in the fire before you make announcements like that. You know, you have to have some plans or initial parts of the game done, some drawings, some designs before you can announce all that. And how the hell they would have the time, the money, the resource for that, unless all they're doing is literally making that. Because let's not forget, they're a massive studio, right? They are. They've got many thousands of people working for them. Well, they were, yeah, but they still touch wood, real wood this time, actually, not this wood. They have thousands of people working for them. So they would have had to have got a lot of things going already, and that's just madness. Like you're screwed either way, right?
Yeah.
Because you either rinse and repeat, which I always take the piss out of them for that. But to be fair, there are people out there Gray enjoyed the games that they brought out before the madness because that's what he liked. Many other people liked this, and it was enough to keep them going. However, they realised they couldn't rinse and repeat forever, so they decided to try games like Star Wars Outlaws, and absolutely make an arse of that. Mm-hmm. So they need to come in and literally top to bottom change everything over because their share prices plummeted so much so that they may actually go private now again.
They're actually urging them to go private, and it might not be such a bad idea. They did better when they were private.
Yeah.
But the problem is the damage is so heavy now, and the bad press has been going out so often, and we've been reporting it here too, and it's just like it doesn't stop. And for this to come out to say they're going to put 2 games out a year, when I first saw that, I wasn't excited about it. I should be normally because I like Assassin's Creed. But when I saw that, I'm going like, you guys are real idiots. I mean, you're going down the tubes. How are you going to do this? And where's the games? And what year is this going to start? You know, it said like next 5 years. I said, really? I mean, it's just, I can't believe anything you say anymore.
And people lose their jobs, a lot of people at Ubisoft are going to lose their job, and that sucks just because of, this always comes down to management making an arse of things, right? This is ironic because they get paid an absolute, oh, by the way, for the Heart and Hand guys, we rant and rave and go off in tangents quite a lot, so I think we'll fit in pretty well here. Management make an arse of things, and they get paid an absolute fortune. Yeah. Right, and because they're not doing their job well, and they should be doing their job better than their minions underneath them, that means that the guys, the regular Joes that are just the programmers, the designers, whatever, they're going to lose their job because their management is incompetent.
Well, remember we said, I don't know if it was the CEO of Ubisoft or Bethesda, but the guy was getting like $20 million a year. I mean... Yeah, right there it tells you.
Was that Activision? Bobby Kotick or whatever his name is?
I don't remember, but I'm sure that goes across the board on a lot of AAA companies of that size, that the upper, whatever, 3 or 4 people are making, gobs of money. But obviously they're not making it in quality. And if their stock tanks as low as Ubisoft is going, it don't matter who you are or what CEO, they're looking for your head. I mean, basically. So
yeah,
even if Ubisoft crawls out of this one, it's going to be a while. But like we had mentioned before, if the Assassin's Creed comes out in February or whatever, like it's supposed to, wow, there's so much pressure behind them that game has to be great from the get-go. Which is, I'm glad they delayed it because they're going to have to. But if it comes out even close to being not good, it's just going to go right down the tubes, and the company's reputation will be dashed again.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it seems like they're just grasping at straws or doing the final scene of the Titanic movie where they're all trying to jump on the boat on the door to save themselves. Yeah. So
they're doing the thing like what was it? The character Jack did when he goes, "I'm king of the world." That was like Ubisoft. I'm king of the not anymore.
Yeah.
You're not king of the stock exchange. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Great. You good with your news? Yeah. You good?
Yeah. All good.
Cool. The one thing I forgot to mention, some people may realise, is I should have mentioned this at the time when I was addressing the Heart and Hand community, that if you recognise my voice, it's because the shows that I done before were the Leading Men, the show on the captains, and also the football scandal show as well. So if you're trying to address them, I probably should have mentioned that before, and then you wouldn't be confused for the last 20 minutes or so. No, I'll put it in the description, don't worry. Yeah. So we talk gaming news like we mentioned, but we also talk about hardware and tech news as well. And I've got a bit of a passion for that side of things. I always have. Not to say the other guys don't as well, they do. But I love my new shiny components for my PC. And I would safe to say that out the 3 of us, we are first and foremost PC players and gamers, PC master race and all that. But we appreciate that people like consoles, and consoles are a big deal. So that's why we went more from PC side of things back in the day to a bit of everything. but we'll always be a bit PC, I think, safe to say, boys. I mean, a lot of console players will just you pick it up. It's a controller. It's a quick game. I get it, but it's not the PC, is it? But new, fresh, squeezed rumors on the GPU side of things. freshly squeezed this morning. No, actually, probably a couple of days ago. One of my passions is the new shiny GPUs that come out every couple of years from Nvidia. Now, obviously, Intel bring theirs out, although they're crap, and AMD bring theirs out, and they're not crap, but they're somewhere in the middle.
Well, they're stopping making them, so I guess they must have been not
well,
so
yeah, that was a failed experiment, that, by the way. I could have told you that with Intel. It was not going to work, you know. Yeah. But usually every 2 years or so, we get new generation of NVIDIA GPUs. And this year, January won't be any different because that'll be CES, the show that they have every year to do with tech and gadgets and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the rumoured 5000 series RTX cards are coming out now. I've said this before, get your violins out. The boys peer pressured me into a 4000 series card when I didn't need one, and it mucked everything up. I should have just waited for the 5000 series because I will get a 5000 series. I'll rebuild my whole PC probably. And the couple of the rumored cards coming out will be the 5080 and the 5090. Now, the 5080 will be more than likely the more popular one with people, because if you remember, the 4080 was actually, air brackets, people, reasonably priced. What was it? Something like 750 quid, Matt? Like $750, $800. It was. Can't believe we're calling that reasonable now, but it is. And then you've got your top card, which is usually your 4090, your 5090. And that's for your enthusiasts out there. I think I would probably go for a 5090 this time, boys. I must admit, because I know. I've still got both of my kidneys, though. I believe Hans is only down to one kidney, so...
You better sell a lot, though, because from what I'm hearing, it's going to be around 25 to 2,700.
What?
Yeah. That's what I've been reading when it comes out. Yeah. So get ready.
Okay, it's not an article I was looking at. You must have read that somewhere else, man. Jesus
I did,
Christ.
but I did see it. I don't think they're going to set a price until they feel like it.
What was the rumor price for the 5080 then?
The 5080 was more down to like 2 or 1,800 or whatever.
Yeah.
1,800? No. The 4080 was about $800 max. So there's no way the 5080 will be 1,800.
I'm telling you, the problem is that, like we talked about, I think last pod, is that Nvidia is the only guy on the block now making high-end cards. Intel's out of it. AMD isn't doing it. So they can do whatever they want. And they probably will. I
think you're right for the 5090. That's going to be expensive. It always is. That's basically their Titan card, although they don't call it a Titan anymore. Yeah. I think the 5080 will be reasonably priced because AMD can compete with the 80 card usually, but they can't compete with the very top card.
Well, the other thing that they do all the time, I'm assuming they're going to do it again. You're going to have your 5080, your 5080 Ti, your 5080 Super, your 5080.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that. Listen, I know. Right, you bring out a couple of cards, you bring out your 5080, 5090, right? Then you wait a few months and then you bring out like your mid-gen and then your lower gen. I get that. And then maybe 1 year later, you do like a mid-refresh like they do with the consoles like PS5 Pro, right? But then you bring out the Super or the Ti then. Don't then bring out at the start the Ti version and then the 80, the Ti, the 90, right? Don't do that and then 1 year later then bring out a super variant, because it gets confusing. You often end up ripping people off, and it's not cool, Nvidia. So just stick to a fairer, simpler model, I would say. But anyway, so some of the specs in this are mind-blowing. I take this with a pinch of salt. I'm not really buying this. It's saying here on one article that the 5080 will come with 32 gigabytes of GDDR RAM. I think video RAM. I think that's nonsense. I think that's probably going to be the 5090 that gets 32 gigabytes, and even then, That is a massive amount. I think the 5080 is going to be something more like 16 or so, just from my experience with these things.
Right.
But still, it's brand new VRAM as well, GDDR7, which is brand new on the block from, like, Samsung are making a lot of this stuff at the moment. And why is GDDR video memory really important, boys? Anyone want to tell me? It's not a trick question. Do we know?
Because it's faster.
You put you in the bin, man.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it is faster. That's true. You can access the information a lot quicker, but also as well, the amount of video RAM is very important, especially if you're gaming on what I call the Billy Big Balls resolution, aka 4K and above. If you're gaming at 4K and above, to an extent, maybe even 1440p, you need a lot of VRAM because you're then storing all these assets in video memory, and that's how you can access them really quickly. And as games get more advanced, the size of game downloads are huge, as we already know. You find a lot of games have UHD or 4K packs, map packs and whatnot, and assets ready for you to download as an additional thing. If you have a lot of VRAM, you can access this. Now, it's got other aspects as well. 5090s, 4090s, they're not really designed for mere mortals and peasants like us, but we want them. We want them. The top end card for us guys is usually the 4080, the 5080. That's what you go for. And also as well, it's the amount of RAM the amount of power these things will chew down. It's a lot of power. The 5090 is rumored to gobble up as much as 600 watts of juice. That is nuts. It won't. Like the 4090 was rumored to take like 400, and it ended up taking like 250, 300 watts. Really, I think they just do this as like a safety thing to say, right, this is the maximum it's good for, but nothing is able to tax it at that level. Not in gaming anyway.
Either that, or they own a lot of stock in power supply manufacturers.
That is, well, this is the thing, right? This is why I didn't upgrade initially, because I was wanting to upgrade everything at the same time with my 4000 series card. My CPU is a lot older, and you'd have to upgrade the board and the case and the PSU, and I was just like, I can't do it, and the money and the time. Everything needs to get replaced, and the power supply will be one of them. There is a power supply called Thor, as in the big geezer with the hammer. I mean, that says it all. Like, you probably need that kind of juice to run the 5090.
Sure.
And you're looking at probably, I would say, 1,000 watt power supply minimum, maybe 1,200 to be on the safe side. And then you're just talking about getting a bank loan out from the bank manager to try and run your latest PC with your latest 5090, because the amount of juice this thing is going to gobble up. So the power is absolutely mind-boggling in the 5090. Like, they're talking about a terabyte of total bandwidth. Now, bear in mind, we're talking about hundreds of gigabytes of bandwidth before. Now we went up to 1,000 terabyte of bandwidth from the memory alone. This thing is basically going to be able to crunch through pretty much anything, and then you're literally talking about it is for 4K gamers. In fact, you're then talking about 8K, and I know that sounds bonkers, but you're talking about people then actually starting to use the few 8K TVs out there and what you could actually game at 8K. So
well, I guess you can afford the 5090. You can afford an 8K TV.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Easy, man. It kind of sucks, actually. You can't SLI the cards anymore. You can't join them together. You used to be able to, but the reason that died out is because you could never... It's like a joint mortgage, isn't it? Like, certainly in the UK, when you get a joint mortgage, you think you would get your salary and her salary and combine them and get double. It never works out like that, does it? It's like one and a percentage. So it's the same with SLI. It just kind of died. So that's a thing in the past. So yeah, January we may get announcement of some of these top end cards. They'll be impossible to get, and they'll be flogged to the hilt. You'll never be able to get them unless you go on eBay and get lots of monies for them. So that is the first thing out of the way. I wasn't sure whether to add this in or not, but I'm kind of sad. I find this stuff interesting. I sometimes like specifications for cabling and display information and whatnot. And there's been so many variations of USB over the years that it gets bloody confusing. People need to sort this shit out. USB 4. You think the one after that would be USB 5? Nope. It's USB 4 2.0.
Ah, 2.0.
Who would have thunk it?
Makes sense.
Well, they did it with 3.0, right? And they just
So.
It gets confusing, man. Now, Matt you both know, but Matt works in IT support as well, like myself, so he'll know about this. So at my place of work, right, what we have is we have like a monitor on each desk, and the guys all have laptops, right? And they'll just come in with the laptops, and they don't need a power supply. So what they'll do is they'll plug in, there's the equivalent of a USB 4 3.0 or whatever it is, just one cable coming from the monitor, goes into the laptop, and that will provide connectivity, aka the video source, and power at the same time, one cable to roll them all. And I find that pretty excellent. It's handy. Exactly. I like the Lord of the Rings reference.
Yeah.
So literally, there's one cable that does everything, although the setup we've got is more limiting. That I don't know the maximum resolution it will handle, but it can only handle 65 watts of charging. So it will trickle charge some of them are more powerful laptops. So if the engineers and whatnot are smashing it, it's not going to really keep up with them. But now we're at the stage where this is beyond even Thunderbolt 3, maybe even Thunderbolt 4, which was an Intel standard. You can get up to 80 gigabits through one of the cables, along with 240 watts of power delivery. That's mental, man. One cable for both of these things. Like literally you could have maybe 4K at 120 FPS coming through your cable, plus you're able to charge a power laptop, a power machine at the same time whilst gaming and sucking up all that juice at the same time. Mind blowing. And when I say USB, it's the Type-C connector.
Type-C,
USB-C. Yeah. And that's, what Apple are like with that. That took them forever to get on board with that. That is the standard now. That's what we're all using.
Yeah.
It makes all life easier. I can charge my phone now with USB-C if you're iPhone 14 and above, thank God. Gray, what are you on? You on a 13 or 14?
No, I have a 14, but it doesn't.
Yeah, so you're USB-C, aren't you? Yeah.
I don't know. Can I?
I'm still rocking the old one till November, and then the new iPhone comes.
Well, but with me, it's just like I charge wirelessly so much that I don't even have the cable, so it's like whatever.
That's a good thing, Grace. See, if you charge wirelessly, right? I do that as well. I've got a little magnetic stand for my iPhone.
Yeah.
I slap it on, and it holds it in place like a nightstand. You turn it to the side, and it turns it into a night clock or a nightstand, and at the same time as well, it will charge it slowly because iPhones don't like to charge fast, but it keeps your battery health better for longer. Because if you're putting like some of these Android phones, and I'm not getting into the Android iOS debate, I'm really not. When you play with some of the latest Android phones, they've got so much power going through them, like fast charge. It can 0 to 100 in half an hour. Yeah, that's true, but your overall battery length is in how long it will last before you have to replace it with a new battery. It gets degraded. So if you charge it slower, like you do with an iPhone, your battery health is actually better for longer. Well, so
one thing iOS has been doing for a while since I got my 14 is that they do battery conditioning charging at night. So a lot of times when I put it on the stand to do the wireless charging. Yep. I'll glance over at it. It says we're charging, on condition charging, whatever. So they're basically, while you're sleeping, they're doing a special optimization charging so that your batteries, which is a good idea. I mean,
if you go into your iOS settings, Gray, and you check the battery health section, it'll actually tell you the percentage of your battery health. Because they say if you're smashing a battery over 2 years, after 2 years, your battery starts degrading quite a bit. You can prolong that, but it's I'm pretty sad. I find that kind of stuff interesting. So
if I keep an iPhone that long, I just go to the You Fix It guys and say, "Here, put a new battery in it."
Yeah, exactly. Because thing is, like the manufacturers support phones for so long. Like Apple are pretty good at supporting it for like 6-7 years after, in terms of yearly OS updates and security patches and stuff, and Android's doing the same as well. Google's doing the same, so that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So this standard of USB 4 2.0 has been something that's set up. We just need manufacturers to take it on board. You can't force them to do it.
Yeah.
Although saying that, I'm just looking at this at the moment. It will also bring support for DisplayPort, which if you have a PC, it's a very popular. It's a different connector on the end.
Yeah.
But it's a similar kind of standard. That will actually support 8K at 60 hertz, which is nuts. So you're getting resolution and high power delivery at the same time. So yeah, moving on from that, because we do like some of the techie geeky stuff, but it's not for everyone.
Yes, it is.
Well, for us, we like it, but not everyone does.
Everyone here.
I wasn't sure where to add this in, but I just thought I would add it here regardless in this section. I wonder what your guys' opinion of this one is. Sony started selling refurbed PS5s recently, right? Now, I don't know if that's anything to do with the PS5 Pro coming out next month, but they started selling them. And the interesting thing about this is, yeah, you save some cash, but I don't know how much cash is it worth for a saving. Right. We're talking about, if you get the normal model from Sony, you're saving $100 off this a month, or £90, because I think you're normally paying, I think it's £480 for
so you're
a
saving
console.
$100 for the refurb?
Yeah, for refurb, or 90 in the UK, £90. Is that something? I mean, I know you guys are not big console gamers. Do you think that's worth the while? Do you think that's not? I mean, the thing is, when it's refurbed, it's covered by manufacturer warranty from Sony for a year, and you probably won't notice any blemishes or anything on it. I think it's a good idea, but
yeah, I'd say so. If you're getting a good saving out of it, I don't see the problem with it.
And it's covered by the manufacturer as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the cover is probably not as long as you would have for a full-out new machine.
No, it'll still be a year, Matt. It'll still be a year. Still be 1 year.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think it'd be good. Yeah.
Decent. Yeah.
I don't mind you buying me one.
If you're going to save $90 or $100 on a refurb, I'd want to save more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, see, the difference, though, Gray, is
depends on the grade as well.
You're buying it off Sony directly. You probably won't notice it's even secondhand. Usually, when it's refurbed, someone sent it back within every country's different. In the UK, you get 2 weeks if you buy something online to return it, no questions asked. Or if it's Amazon, you get the month. So that's all it is someone's used it briefly, or maybe opened it, put it back in the box and sent it back in. So then it's you can't really tell it's been used at all if it has been used. And then Sony are saying, listen, to be on the safe side, we'll cover it for a year. Steam were doing this, Valve were doing this with their Steam Decks. Ones that were sent back in, they made sure they were absolutely squeaky clean, covered them with a manufacturer warranty. Your other option is go to eBay. You might save a bit more, but you won't get any warranty. It could have been sitting in a really minging, disgusting house, and God knows what the person's done to it, and you're not covered. You're covered by 1 month if something goes wrong with eBay, but not for a year. So, listen, any savings, I'm covered by a year, so I don't mind using it. But I pre-ordered a PS5 Pro, so there's kind of no point. And they haven't sold out, by the way, guys. The PS5 Pros, which a lot of people thought would sell it like that, they're not sold out, man.
So they're talking about and having charged for everything, and
it's silly money. But you know me, I like you guys. I'm an enthusiast, so I had to get one. I'm not really surprised. Like, it's not going to be aimed at the masses. It's going to be like 1 out of every 10 consoles, maybe 2 out of every 10 PlayStations bought. will be the Pro, and everyone else will settle on the Peasant Edition. Sorry, the normal edition. My apologies. It's slipping the tongue there. So yeah, that's a kind of like the hardware kind of tech corner side of things. Mr. Matt has got some games and stuff to talk about. Have you actually played Silent Hill 2, Matt?
I haven't played it. I've looked at it. I had played it before.
The original.
Yeah.
PS2, PlayStation 2 days. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. And I loved it. I thought it was the brilliant one. I think I preferred that one to Resident Evil. No, I actually like them both. I love both.
Why is it Silent Hill 2 and not 1? I can't remember. Is Silent Hill 2 the better of the original Silent Hills? It must be.
Yeah. I think it was a bit more exciting, a bit more adventurous.
Yeah.
A bit more. I think it lasted quite longer game time as well on there. But yeah. But first, before I get into that, it's Mental Health Awareness Week day.
Yes.
So everybody out there, yep.
Go mental.
Those are absolutely mental.
Yeah.
Buy me everything. I mean, just make sure you guys are okay. We love you all. And if you ever need to hit us up, we're on the Discord there, and it is a serious thing.
Yep.
I think some of us here probably know. Been through quite a bit. But yeah, it's Awareness Month, and I hope you all are doing well, even though we don't really need an Awareness Day to say that, because, it is what it is. And, I hope you're all right.
Matt, can we touch on that just briefly for a moment longer, if you don't mind, mate? Because, it's a very good point. Matt's been very open that he's discussed that he's had issues with that shit, and what helps is actually talking to folk. And I don't want to sound like a broken record where every other podcast or show or whatever you like in the world tells you can reach out. You generally can to us, because we're all idiots. We're just guys that will just chew the fat, and you can talk to us about anything. And we have had one or two folk in the past that have actually reached out to us in Discord about issues and discussed them. People seem to forget that this thing in here, although with me it's really small, this thing inside, if you can see a very small brain, this has problems. Whereas if you have a problem with your body, you have cancer, whatever, you have heart failure, you go and get these things checked out. But people don't think about maintaining this. Mm-hmm. And if this is just as important as everywhere else down here, so you have to work shit out and talk through stuff. So reach out to any one of us three about anything you've got, and we'll just... and I usually tell bad dad jokes so that people are okay. Maybe these guys have got other ways of... No,
Mine's dead. I don't know why he keeps doing that.
See, there you go. This is our sense of humour. Not everyone likes humour to talk about these things. Other people like other methods, but we're about the humour. So
that's how I pretty much talk about it. I make it quite humorous. The amount of times I've made my boss cringe and tell me to shut up. The amount of times HR have even ran and jumped.
Well, first of all, humor is good for you, period. I mean, humor is good for you mentally, physically, and I've always had a good sense of humor, and all three of us do. It's fun to joke around. What the heck?
You have to, man.
Can't take things too serious, especially with the crap that goes on these days. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we got you back.
Yep. Yeah.
We always will do. And there you go.
Is the hill really silent though?
It is when you're on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you will be. You'll scream and no one will hear you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. In the shady darkness. Yeah. So before I go to Silent Hill, actually, I am going to go to Silent Hill. I'm not going to mess things up.
Bye. It was nice. It was nice knowing you, man. It was nice knowing you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So they did the remake, and a lot of people were very skeptical at the very beginning. Some people were like, another remake is going to be absolute hashed. But when it was released, people actually loved it. They had a really good outcome of reviews. Metacritic score of 87 on there as well. But there was a few problems. One big one was at the very beginning of the game, where something would happen with the main character finding a radio, and then normally you wouldn't be able to hear because it's all static and all that stuff all going on. But most of the subtitles that went through would, understand that, it's the static and all this. But no, the Italian did not understand that bit of the quest, and actually threw the whole message out there straight off and pretty much ruined what would be
really
an ending or some big points to be added. So they had to do a huge, fast patch on there. But other than that, everybody still loves it. So there we go. There it is. It is a good game. Good survival.
It was
haunting.
amazing back in the day, Matt, wasn't it?
Awesome.
And I can't. Yeah. I'll buy it when it's cheap enough. I'm too tight.
Yeah. All I can see is that big guy with a massive, triangle head, and the axe just coming at you.
Was that not Resident Evil, or was it not? Was that Silent Hill?
Silent Hill, yeah.
I get mixed up.
I'm thinking the guy with the bazooka. I'm thinking the guy with the bazooka from Resident Evil Nemesis or Zero,
Nemesis,
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah, it is brilliant. So there you go. So if you're ever wondering, should I or should I not? There you go. It's got a good point. I might if it's a good price. Next, I did have Red Dead Redemption, but somebody stole that from me.
Like the old West?
Hold on.
Oh.
You've been called out.
Yeah.
Can't believe he done that. Gray's got a habit of doing that.
Yeah, stealing it's like he works for the Sun or something.
Oh, I'm saying nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, to add to that, they actually will be supporting 4K native resolution there, up to 144 hertz. It's going to be supporting the ultra wide and super ultra wide displays, full keyboard and mouse support, which sounds pretty good. The upscaling technologies like DLSS 3.7 and AMD FSR 3.0 will be on there. Additionally, Nvidia DLS frame generation with adjustable draw distances, shadow quality settings will be on there.
This is why we love PC.
That's it, yeah. But they haven't said anything about multiplayer.
No?
There
won't be that's not a multiplayer type game, mate.
Well, they introduced it onto Red Dead 2. It wasn't bad.
Was it there in the original?
No, I think it was just a shooter, wasn't it?
Yeah, Red Dead Online did the multiplayer.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
You know what I always say? Wait for the modders; they can do whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. They're brilliant at that type of stuff. Yeah. So, where are we? Bungie.
What have they done?
Bungie.
What have they done?
Well, what haven't they done? Oh,
at least they're not Ubisoft.
When you're saying naughty, you mean Naughty Dog?
They've been naughty. They've been so naughty. Yeah, so they got a lawsuit coming in. Filed by Kelsey Martineau, who wrote under the pen name of Casper Cole. You guys know that. So anyway, he claims that Bungie has copied the plot elements from his story, which he published on WordPress back in 2013. 2014, yeah. For the storyline of Destiny 2's Red War campaign. Released it back in 2017. So the lawsuit was just filed at the beginning of this month. And accuses Bungie of copyright infringement and demands for that distribution of the related content to be halted.
It should be interesting.
Yeah, so it's like, wow.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. There we go.
I mean, and the thing is, Matt, they're not without the problems. Bungie I've been, because I love Destiny, so I get pissed off. It's a bit like
that's why I thought you'd be interested.
I appreciate it. Just my head's not been quite in the game recently, just to things you guys know about, so not being as up to date with the gaming news. But I'm really passionate about Bungie and Destiny, so I got upset when they pissed me off. Just like Gray's probably more passionate about Ubisoft because he likes the Assassin's Creed franchise, so we don't like it when our favourite studios start taking the piss.
Right.
Bungie, I've had several issues.
Yeah.
Although to be honest with you, if they keep putting out really good games that aren't with the majors, that's fine because some of the games coming out have been so good. I couldn't care less whether the majors ever put out another good game as long as I can keep getting stuff like Enshrouded and whatnot. I'm cool. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go.
I would love. Sorry to interrupt, but I would love to see a smaller outfit come out with an Assassin's Creed type of game, and really stick it to Ubisoft, I would be great.
Yeah,
competition
just miss
is
out that machine thing. Just miss that bit out, you'd be fine.
What's it called again? That bloody machine? The what?
I can't
Grey
remember.
Nose, the one that sends you to different time periods. The machine in Assassin's Creed.
The Anna something.
You call yourself an Assassin's Creed fanboy. You're sacked, demoted.
That's the part of Assassin's Creed that I hate, and they basically been getting rid of that slowly after.
Why do you hate it? That's the element.
Animus.
That's the element that makes them be able to travel to different time periods, is it not? That's the whole point.
Yeah, but the problem with the Animus, when they used to do it more, was that it totally broke immersion of the game all the time. You'd be sitting there really getting into the character and the time period and the things that are going on and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, go back to the Animus, and the guy wakes up and goes like, well, I experienced that.
How else would you do it? How else would you do it if you didn't have that? How could you
just do the game?
Don't do it. Yeah.
It worked. It made sense for the movie, though, which I know people slag. I actually enjoyed it because that was better for movie telling stories than it would be for a game, if that makes sense.
Well, if you did it at the very beginning and then you don't do it anymore, Look, they still had some Animus garbage. They had some Animus garbage in Valhalla too. I played one or two of those, and I said, "This is really stupid," and I didn't go back to play any of that part.
By the way, just a little thank you because we're in Riverside. I'm not really sure how any cheers and bits and things come up on stream, right? So apologies. There you go. That Gray's called it. I'm pretty sure that's a 100-bit cheer on Twitch. Cheers, Jansen.
Thank you.
This bit's new to us, so appreciate it, my man. So we were interrupting poor Matt there. I tried to give him a free run before I jump in because there's nothing worse than interrupting like other people we've known in the past. What other gaming news have you got, sir? Have you got more on the Bungie side of things, or have you got something else?
Well, that's it for Bungie for now. But what's it? Tequila works on doing staff cuts. So they're behind Rime and Deadlight. So they're going through that at the moment. And I think they had a project in the works at that time, so that's been cancelled as well. So a lot of cancellations. So games going through all companies at the moment due to all this.
Yeah, because some of them are going broke.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's like, oof. Shame to see all these hardships going through. We're going through just off on a tangent there. EA were supposed to bring out Battlefield 3 for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Battlefront, I should say. Sorry.
Has that been canned too?
Well, yeah, that got canned ages ago. But I would say now that we know Outlaws is dead, trash, maybe this would be a good time for them to bring that out and bring the goodness and the shininess. Come on, do it just for us. Yeah. Take over from Ubisoft. Show them how it's made. Go for it.
Well, the thing is, right, that license cost them a shit ton of money.
It does.
To get a Disney license, right, is a lot of money, and then you're having to charge a decent amount for the game and the amount that goes into it. They will have lost even more money than we possibly realise because of, if that was their own IP, you'll lose some money, but then you pay a lot for a license, you're like, oh, squeaky bum time.
Yeah.
So...
What's funny is you don't hear anybody in the Star Wars business side saying anything about the game. They're staying very quiet.
Yeah, because they've got the license fee up front. They don't care how many copies they sell.
Yeah. So if anybody asks them, they probably go, "Yeah, it's a great game." No, it's not.
Yeah. We didn't know why we did it, but we did it. There you go.
I'll tell you, I was the other reason I was looking for Star Wars Outlaws to be good was because a lot of the stuff that Disney's been putting out with Star Wars has been all crap on TV.
Yes.
And
they got another one coming out now as well.
So I'm thinking we'll get back to the return of the old,
And they're putting, and Disney are putting the prices up at least in the UK again. Let's not get started in that rant and not new content and
hardly anything new. There's probably one thing every few months, maybe.
First of all, Netflix still rules the roost, and then what do you call it? Amazon comes in second. After that, the shares are like minuscule for all the rest.
Yeah,
it's a fight between the rest of them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Matt, what is this I say about Roblox? Matt has got a kid, right? So he's going to use that as an alibi, regardless of how much we take the piss out of him for playing a kids game.
I
and Greg has grandkids, so
Yeah.
My grandson was into Roblox for a while. He's not anymore, but I played some of those kooky games with him.
Yeah, my
Kooky
kid.
games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Now that I'll play some with my kids,
Grab with a
and
cookie.
they play some weird stuff on their horror style games.
So are you blaming this on your kid, Matt, or did you actually play?
No, I played along with it because they have the the studio where you can build your own worlds and all that stuff, and everybody's like, oh, you can do that.
So I am calling the police then, yeah? Is that what
you
you're
can call
saying?
it? You probably will have to after this.
Right.
Yeah. So
what game specifically did you play, or have played, or will play, or are playing?
Oh Jesus, I was playing plane simulator thing on there. There was Transformers 1.
Do you want to describe Roblox to people that don't know about it? I only know vaguely about it, the concept of it, Matt.
It's how do I put this in words?
It's big.
it's a big
Do you make your own games within a game?
Yeah, you could build. It's got its own studio thing that you can build. The kids can build the games and learn how to do that type of stuff, which is quite is easy to follow. I wouldn't either, to be honest.
Why
after
Mercian?
This news, you wouldn't.
Yeah, Mercian was for the audio people out there. Mercian says, I won't let my daughter play Roblox. To be honest with you, I can understand Mercian, because my daughter wouldn't let my grandson play certain games on Roblox either. And there was for a time when Roblox, I guess, was more in its infancy or whatever, where there was a lot of weird stuff going on because people were hacking in really easily. And so they had a reputation, initially for all that stuff. So yeah, I get it.
Jansen said it himself, biggest game for grooming. Listen, I'm not laughing at this one. I'm trying not to laugh. There is a genuine, serious little point to that. Like, we'll make fun of it, but that's a thing that very possibly could happen. And that's why the guys that make Roblox, like you guys are saying, there's certain games I wouldn't want my kids or my grandkids to play. But the thing with Roblox for me is that should be bulletproof, that any game made inside it should be Nintendo-esque, meaning there's very strict limits on what you can do because it's family orientated. So
big time. Yeah, absolutely. I've even put this to the test where I've made multiple accounts, changed ages to see if I can just join anything and anywhere. And you can, which is ridiculous. It's terrible. So this was what brings up. They did have an investigation into Roblox after a lot of concerns for child safety. So a new report that was just out has flagged so much concerns about it. They described it as an X-rated pedophilia hellscape.
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
that is huge on exploiting children, and it's been like that, especially when it comes with its own gaming building software as well, sort of thing. So people do kind of jump on that. So pretty much from that, takes a cut of any money generated like that. Due to that, I should say. Turkey, I think, is the only country that's actually fully banned Roblox.
Turkey has.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well done, Turkey.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're on their game there. So it's to do with their failure to stop inappropriate and illegal content. Roblox have been known to inflate player counts to help the investors with their money pricing shares. So some persons at least made over 100 counts a day to show a huge number of players playing, even though there isn't. So there. They've also found that users have been shown to groom avatars, kids. Also, child pornography has been found on some accounts, marketing that as well. Yeah. Wow. So, yeah,
who makes this game, Matt? Who makes this game? Do we know anything about the developers?
Softonic.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, Softonic. Yeah, are the ones that run it.
I'm wondering actually,
aren't they the ones that downloaded all kinds of these little utility programs too and stuff? I thought, or maybe I'm thinking of a different one, but.
What country I'm just trying to get. They are what it says here, Roblox Corporation. They're American. They're American, man. I would expect this from some shady country.
Yeah.
I was going to make a joke there. I'm not doing it.
So they got like P. Diddy Simulator on there.
P. Diddy. Oh no!
Yeah.
And for those,
a few others.
Oh my god!
For those that don't know what we're talking about, just go and Google P. Diddy, and you'll find out what's going on there. I'm not getting into that.
Yeah. So with those huge concerns, we haven't heard anything back from Roblox at all with their.
This, the weird thing is, this is not the first time that this has happened with the Roblox people. So why does it continue? I mean, it's like, it's just crazy. I mean, it's like a drug. They got to play Roblox. Got to play Roblox.
It always comes down to money, guys. Right? This is my doom and gloom thing that I say. I feel like every second podcast, bring the asteroid down. We're just all driven by money as a species, and this goes down to companies are the worst at it than individuals. And it's all about making the money rather than doing things safely and correct until they're forced by local government to actually change things. Now, the problem is the video game industry is not heavily regulated like the film industry is, or the music industry, or gambling, or whatever. It's not heavy regulated. It's certainly in the UK, probably in the States as well. So kind of disgusting, man.
Yeah. So there's quite a few games out there that one of the researchers went in as a kid who was under the age of 13, who found these games, Escape to Epstein Island. There was another trafficker there of Kitty style. Survive Diddy and Run from Diddy Simulator, which is terrible.
That's so.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, claims of groups openly trading in child abuse, soliciting for minors, which is terrible. I think one of the groups had at least over 3,000 members. One of the spokesperson who did actually deny all claims, saying that the research firm has an agenda and was falsifying these claims. Their share prices had fallen 4.6 since the report went out. Which
4.6%, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so rightfully so as well. I think they definitely need to up their ante on security. I
like how they come out and say they're not at blame for anything. It's almost like you're sitting there with the house on fire and you go like,
yeah,
it's a little hot. No, it's not really on fire.
That's like the guy about to break into your house, right? That's like standing outside and giving him the hammer to hit your window and go in. Oh, but it wasn't us, Gov, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is.
I know. It's terrible. It's shocking. And I'm amazed that they haven't upped their security at all. Anybody can make anything on there out of the accounts as well. So I'm pretty glad that I'm actually in there with my kid when he's playing. At least then I'm right next to him, and if anybody says anything, I can report them.
What is the solution then? Ideally, Matt, do you because you're a parent? Gray's a parent. He's a grandparent, so you guys can talk about this. I don't have any kids that I'm aware of. Giggity. So I think the solution, certainly from my point of view, is they need to basically do what Nintendo do and just put in a lot of any game that you make within Roblox should be quality assurance
up to that standard
to the hilt. And it should have many protections in place as well for me. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. I think it's, it shouldn't even be said. They should have already done this a long time ago.
By default, yeah.
Yeah, because they are aiming this at kids. So they need that security there. And why they don't have is ridiculous. Yeah. I think other than, send it to Nintendo, let them have it. Get that.
So at this point, going. Nintendo wouldn't take it either.
Yeah, they won't. They'd be like, "Oh no." No. They'd be like the what's it, Quinzilla from Family Guy? No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only best way is not have your kid, if possible, to play alone or keep an eye on.
It ends up coming down to the parent again. Like, you watch that. I see that. My daughter saw that. My daughter actually kept my grandson from playing Roblox a couple times.
Yeah, I never know why.
My grandson, to his credit, actually outgrew it fast. He got bored of it after a while, and he never went back to it. the only games he plays now really on PC is like Madden football or NBA basketball or maybe Fortnite. And that's about it. So
yeah.
All right. Okay.
yeah, which
Cool.
is a good
Right.
thing.
That was interesting yet horrifying at the same time about the Roblox
Yeah.
stuff. So
I mean, I saw that and I was like, wow, my kid's in
yeah.
there.
No,
Yeah, I mean, there's a few ones that I've come across, and you can do your report and click kick out or ban. I think most of the things, like they have a point where you can make your own private servers for some games, which is what we'd go into anyways, which is so much better, so much secure, because people that you don't invite don't come in, sort of thing. So it's only by invitation only.
right. Okay.
So hopefully, maybe that's a way around it. Make sure you're on that private server or get one set up.
But we can't completely I can mostly blame Roblox Corporation.
Yeah.
Of course I can, but as Gray touched upon, it's a parenting thing as well. Like some parents, at least when I was a kid, my mother would just let me go and play what I wanted, and that's that's a different generation. I get it, but parents have to keep an eye on what their kids are playing and watching and doing. Like part of that is on them, and I'm not mostly blaming it on parents. I'm not, but there is a element of that. So, but Roblox need to take more than 50% of the blame for this for sure.
I think nowadays it's even more prevalent, especially with social media. Like Mercy had commented about social media companies are the same, and I think there's so much more peer pressure garbage going on because of social media, and that just makes it harder to navigate. It's not to say that the parents shouldn't be aware of it. It's just that parents have a hard enough time bringing up kids, let alone having to worry about some of this garbage on top of it all. And stuff, and like my parents had to worry about a lot less, in respects and so forth, and it just gets out of hand. The funny thing about it is, I wonder why there's no real competition to Roblox. I mean, there's a market there. If you end up coming in and doing something, more upstanding or whatever you want to call it, I think the market's wide open. I think if a good company came in there and did it, they'd blow Roblox out.
Great. The closest you have to that is, and it's down to one platform only, is Mario Maker, as in Super Mario Maker on the Switch. Yeah. You can make games within that, but it's like more making your own levels for Mario kind of thing. Yeah. It's the closest I can think of.
It's not very social though. You don't have like other people joining.
It's locked down. It's Nintendoized, as I call it. So.
It's probably because not enough money can be made in it, I guess, so you don't see the company.
No, you can't. You can't buy things in it. You pay for the game and that's it. Yeah. Nintendo don't really do that as much with the in-game purchases and whatnot. So Minecraft, can you make games within Minecraft or games within a game though, Mercian? That's the thing. He's just saying Minecraft as an example there.
Well, I've seen Minecraft versions that are different. Like Minecraft,
you can get people on the marketplace that make their own textures, skins, levels, storylines that you can follow.
And don't forget, there's ray tracing in Minecraft.
Yeah. I put that in. Ray tracing and HD.
Minecraft's similar to Roblox in that respect, but I don't think, and tell me I'm wrong, full-blown games made within Minecraft. I think you just make levels and stuff and like maybe mini games there, but I don't think it's quite the same level. I might be wrong. I don't play Minecraft or Roblox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, guys, we'll move on. I'm kind of conscious of time as well there. So we do have a new game this week that Mr. Gray has been playing, Space Marine 2, which I will let you take that away, Gray, and I'll be right back.
I will attempt to share so I can show you what it was. But basically, I've been playing Space Marine 2, that is. I should preface that. And Space Marine is, this is 40K, so 40K Warhammer stuff. And if it goes way back, God, I remember playing 4K, 40,000K games way back when they first came out. I haven't really played a lot of them recently. So it's been like, I don't think I can share this the way I wanted to. Sorry. So when I used to play them years ago, all the games back then were made pretty linear. So basically you have to follow a path. There's really no veering off into other areas, and like a lot of the open world games, you can just explore all you want. I think I'm probably more spoiled for the fact that it is like that. You know, I mean, I've gotten so used to being able to go and uh, explore anything that I want to that now, unless a linear game is made, you know, really well, it's not as interesting, I guess. Um, I like Space Marine 2. I'm not going to sit there and say that it was a stellar game. I probably would give it up front maybe like I'd say a 7 out of 10, you know, to be nice, I guess. And that's not a bad score, and it is fun, but it's extremely linear. So it's basically you are just following one path. You are not.
Yeah, it did look like it. Yeah.
Oh, and that was the only kind of drawback. Like for instance, God of War and God of War Ragnarok. Technically, even though it's an RPG, it is somewhat linear because you're always going forward to the next thing you got to do. But in that game, it's 10 times better than Space Marine. Again, I'm not trying to down it. It has its audience. But you can handle an RPG linear type game and still be awesome like God of War. So I would kind of term Space Marine 2 as being more of a throwback, like to the early days, except that the graphics obviously are a lot much better. I can't. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I have enjoyed it, and as usual with playing Space Marines, which I kind of like the best out of all the 40K characters. You can't beat sitting there having a chainsaw blade and the bolt gun and a lot of other things and just blowing up enemy. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun blowing up all these is it Tyranids or whatever, the little buggy creatures. So I can't say I'm not having fun with it. I am having fun with it. So that's why I only go a 7 out of 10 because it really is linear. I mean, it doesn't even try to hide the fact that it's linear at all. I mean, even like I know, you know, they put ammo boxes around for you to pick up on your ammo, but because it's so extremely linear, you don't even know if there's an ammo box nearby or not. So it makes it a little confusing because you're wandering over there going like, oh, I'll wander over there even though I know I can't go anywhere because maybe there's an ammo box there. Yeah, well, there isn't. So you have to they just appear whenever they want to appear, you know. That's the downside part of it too. There is really no amazing story to the game. Okay, it's pretty much all out destruction everywhere you go. Different missions that you run, and you have a lot of cool powers, and you can do a lot of different things in it. And you know the weapons are fun. You know you have a squad of guys that go with you as well. So all that stuff is fun. I'm not recommending the game, but I'm trying to tell you truthfully what the game is like in terms of what I think. If you like the games like they used to be, straight and linear years ago when they first came out with a lot of 40K stuff, then you might as well pick up the game because it'll be fun. And I personally, and I'm not a huge 40K fan, but I always like the Space Marines better than of all the different things that they do. So basically, you know, I don't hear you, Trev. I don't know if you're muted or not.
I am. Did you play the first game? And what platform did you play this game on?
This was PC.
Game Pass?
No, but I did it on PC. It is PC.
Okay.
But the old games, like I said, I was telling Matt before, the graphics are better, obviously, but it's still probably too much like the old games in terms of the linearity of it. That's the downside. The good side is that it is fun. I mean, there is some fun to it. I mean, you definitely are wiping out enemies and having a blast doing it. The only other drawback, it's not really a drawback, it's that there's so much going on and there's so many enemies running all over the place that you have special abilities and so forth, and you're so busy trying to get these things off of you when they're attacking you, half the time you don't even have time to sit there and set off a special because you're just like, whoa.
Overwhelmed. Yeah,
sit there and set off a special. I mean, I often do that at home myself on a Friday evening, but maybe we're talking about something else. I know Matt does as well.
Well, what I think I end up doing
whenever I can.
Yeah, I have a programmable keyboard, and I advise anybody that has a programmable keyboard like mine is you can set up the different moves and just hit one key and it'll do it. Like for instance, you obviously know that it tends to be a wee more controller based in such a way because I'm looking at it says, you know, right click 3 times, click, and then it does a whatever, a move, whatever move it is. And I'm not, it's okay, but I'm not really into that kind of stuff. But if you if you program it, which I probably will try to do on a programmable keyboard, you can put in all the motions and hit one key, and it'll perform everything. So it's almost like a one key thing, and that way you can have more fun with it without having to pay attention to right, left, 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 right, right. Like, yeah, whatever. So
yeah.
So good game. Is it worth the money? Yeah, I think so. Especially if you're a 40K fan. Is it a stellar game? No. Is the writing, good? It depends on what you mean by writing, because basically it's just kind of like, go there, do the mission, go over there, bring your crew, do that.
Is it a Steam game? Is it an Epic Games game? Is it?
I think it's Steam. PC.
Steam, yeah, it's on Steam there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much Warhammer you can pick up anywhere. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not saying I don't enjoy it. I just thought it's almost kind of like you get the feeling that you've outgrown those kind of games, kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
And stuff. So maybe people getting into gaming are a little younger that might like it better. But again, I'm trying to be even-handed with it. It still was a lot of fun, and I'm still having some fun with it. But if I'm presented with an open world game, or the games that we've been playing lately, yeah, I'll be putting that one down for a while and going for the better open world game for sure.
Okay.
And that's pretty much my news on that one.
Thanks to Mr. Jensen for the sub. Appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. Now, I'm going to thank you, Matt, for picking up on that. I'm possibly going to ask one of you guys, like whoever can do it in the future, whoever's not the host, to keep an eye on it. But the thing is, Gray's pushing buttons in the background, so it's a difficult one. We don't see the full range of notifications. We got the cheer thing up, but we didn't get the sub thing up. So Matt's noticed that. Thank you, mate. If any of you have the Twitch stream up in the future and you see it, just let me know, because this is the thing. Like, Riverside's excellent. We've all agreed with that, right? But the live side, they're not on par with StreamYards with that side of things. So we're giving them feedback. Hopefully, we'll improve the live element for it, because I know some of you guys tune in live. So
it's kind of pick your battle, because we multi-stream to 4 different places, so not everything works exactly the way they're trying to generalize, in other words, across the 4, as opposed to trying to pick out one. But being available to lots of them are helpful for the people out there. So it's cool. So we go for that.
One way or another, we'll get there. We always do. Yeah. Okay, cheers for that, Gray. Space Marine 2. I've not played any Space Marine games, but I've never say never to try one in the future. Some interesting tidbits I've got here. I was looking at the free games on Epic this time around. Epic are pretty good at their free games. We've all got big libraries of stuff we redeemed and never played. One of them we played back in the day, though, and I'm sure one, if not both of you guys, joined us at this, and that was Imperion Galactic Survival. If you remember that from back in the day, early days on Steam, via Steam. Yeah. That is a good game. I think I had my kind of time, but one of these kind of build your own base, build your own ship on a planet type situation. We've seen this kind of game before. You could build some crazy stuff. It got a bit glitchy and a bit samey for me, but certainly for free in Epic, it's definitely worth a shout picking it up. And another one is, thanks to Jansen for this one, for letting us know about this before. Another free game on Epic on early access at the moment is called Off the Grid. Now, what I'm going to do here is hopefully share my screen, and then we can see the little trailer for it, because we have something interesting here. And let me see if we can call this one up. It's called Off the Grid. It's a kind of looter shooter kind of game. I don't know if this is going to be the cup of tea, but we're certainly going to try it. Can you guys see that okay, yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Right, so what we'll do here, I'll play this in a moment. Now,
I've got it installed already.
That's a Gunzilla.
I did, yeah.
Gunzilla.
The thing is about this game, right, it's a crypto game. Now, I can't change the resolution of this, so it might be slightly choppy, but it's a crypto blockchain game, which I don't know if Jensen realised this at the time. That sets alarm bells off for me immediately. But if it's free, I'm not going to complain.
Well, wait,
really
do me a
not going to
favor. Back up a second. So I don't know if I've ever heard of this. What's a crypto chain?
Cryptocurrency, NFTs.
No, I know it's a
that kind of thing.
cryptocurrency, but why is it like why is it in the game or whatever you're saying? How's that?
I've not played this yet. Bear in mind, this was brought to my attention literally 15, 20 minutes before we came on air. Jansen put it in our Discord, and it just came up as a paragraph underneath the game that it was a crypto game. Now, it's probably going to be the equivalent of in-app purchases,
where your
but
credits go.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I mean, it's an in-app currency type thing. Instead of getting loot boxes and whatnot with real money, there'll be the whole cryptocurrency side of things plumbed into it, which is a concern, but you're not paying for the game. So I'm only concerned. I'm not saying I wouldn't play it again. We've seen games like this before, guys, looter shooters. We've seen it all the time. It looks good, but the problem with this is more of a cinematic trailer, right?
Yeah, of course.
And you take that with a pinch of salt. We want to see more actual in-app or in-app
gameplay.
Play. Thank you. But I'd be willing to give it a try. There's no qualms about it. It's where can you go wrong if it's early access? You can't really go wrong. But I'm not seeing any gameplay, so I really don't know. So that's available just now. Matt's already got it. I'll probably get it. Probably won't be till next month because it's not. I'm using my Mac at the moment to do some podcasting with you boys. But yeah, there we go. It's more or less finished anyway, to be fair. It's out just now, I believe. So the blockchain stuff that I saw before, right? Early access. So it says here, this game supports and includes the use of blockchain, NFT technology, or cryptocurrency. All transactions and related activity, payments for in-game purchases, refunds, and customer support are all handled by the publisher of this product. So pretty much what Matt said there. Whatever. I'll give it a try and see
NFTs,
how we go.
They're real successful. Not.
I know. It's what was so Jansen's saying buy and sell in-game on the blockchain, right? Okay. And we've got Mercy saying he said it's a cross between the Division and Apex. Do you want to know something? It looks like that. That's a good analogy there, man. I would say so. Apex wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I think it was see if it starts to look a little bit futuristic. I like good modern graphics. I don't like anything sci-fi and futuresque.
I mean, if it plays something like Division, I'd probably take a peek just to see maybe.
Look who it is. It's Mr. ANCAP Gamer. How are you doing, sir? I've not heard from you for a long time, mate. For those that don't know who ANCAP Gamer is, he's
Mr. VR.
He's Mr. VR. He's Mr. VR. And,
has been streamed for a while.
Mr. VR, I love his streams, but he left our Discord. What's going on, man? Well, come back, say hello. We forgive you. I hope you're well, ANCAP, in all seriousness, mate.
Oh, you said he dropped off Twitch, he said.
So that's a good thing, right? ANCAP is on YouTube now. I've seen him on YouTube. I noticed you weren't on Twitch for a long time, mate. And that makes a lot of sense as to why he's on the YouTube now. I don't blame you, mate. I'm more on the YouTube side of things for the Trekway and stuff. I don't blame you.
Even here, the podcast, we're doing a lot more YouTube. So
because the thing is, right, YouTube still take a big chunk, but they take 30% off you. Sometimes on Twitch, they can take up to 50% off you. Yeah. This is why a lot of people get pissed off, and ANCAP's probably one of them. He's probably went, I've had enough, I'm going to YouTube. So, but yeah.
I assume, ANCAP, you're still heavy into VR. He was into VR before any of us were into VR.
Yeah.
He was messing with everything.
I don't think ANCAP is really real. I think he lives in virtual reality, like Transcendence, the movie with Johnny Depp. I don't think he is actually real. He lives inside virtual reality.
Yeah.
It was good to hear from you, mate. I said the Matrix, the blue pill and the red pill. Blue pill, red
Shell's
pill.
with us as well.
I'm having both at the same time. Hey, Shell.
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Where? Where?
She might be on, but she hasn't.
Hey, hello.
Okay. Don't call out people in the chat. They're not saying anything. They might be wanting to stay in there incognito.
I'll picture shot it if you want.
No, I believe you. Some people don't chat.
Me.
Sometimes they're in the chat and they don't say anything. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well,
a lot of people going.
Why is it not coming up in the comments then?
Because
I am here. I did speak.
There she is.
Yeah. Thank you, Shell. Thank you. Yeah, you take your haggis and go do wee one.
So why? So
Are you
trying to say there's a delay then between Twitch and Riverside? Is that what you're saying, Matt?
Well, it could be.
I'm saying you're blind.
Just so people know that don't know, we're looking at a chat that encompasses all 4 of the social streams at one time.
Yes, and it just popped up there.
Right, so it will probably do a second or two before.
Yeah, see, Matt, you're watching on Twitch as well, which is appreciated, but I'm not because I get a laptop. So okay. Anyway, so he's been playing lots of Warframe and Cap. That is interesting, mate. Soups on our community played that as well. It's a free game, I believe. Coco the clown. I mean the dog. Sorry, she's upset. Someone's at the door.
I'll go close the door.
Someone's at the door. Yelp. Woof, woof, woof. It's a free game. Why do you like Warframe and Cap? And more importantly, can you play it in virtual reality? Are you still playing VR games? Is that a thing?
Say it isn't so, Incap. You didn't give up on VR, have you?
Nah, don't give up on VR, man. Don't do it.
I just got my Quest 3, but I haven't played it yet. I'm going to.
Oh,
I had to wait I had to order the strap, the replace, because I don't like the strap that's on there. They got really nice straps that are better for your head and everything. Yeah. That just came in, so now I can hook it up and mess with it.
Well, we want some review stuff. We want some VR reviews from you soon, Chris and Grace. You're going to have to get involved in it and take video of yourself with that on your headset. That'll be gold.
That'll be gold. Definitely get at least a picture out.
Okay. So I still play VR on occasion, and Cap saying, good. It's definitely something I need to be playing more of as well. So yeah, moving on. I noticed this again not long before we came on the podcast tonight, and I thought it was worth pointing out. If there's some free games worth playing, I will point them out. Mm-hmm. Prime Gaming. If you're a Prime gamer, you've got the membership. You get free. You get one free Twitch sub every month. By the way, just saying. There are some free games that you get every month as part of your membership. Now, we're talking about Alien Isolation. Or we will be at one point, certainly. There is Alien Isolation. In fact, no tell lie. I'm absolutely talking nonsense, guys. Alien Isolation, they are bringing out another game shortly, but Doom Eternal is now free to play via Prime Gaming. Now, that is a cracking game. All game. 3 of us have played that. We love it. Highly recommend it. And I'm surprised they managed to get this one, Gray. I'll be honest with you, that can't be cheap.
I think if you haven't played any of the newer Doom games and it's free, I would grab it right away.
If you've got a Prime membership, go and get it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Go and get it, man, Another free game on Prime for October, BioShock Remastered.
Oh, yeah.
BioShock was brilliant, man. Brilliant. Absolutely great game. And it's a remastered version as well. So we've got that as well, available right now. We've got a Ghostbusters game, which, listen, you either love it, you hate it. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed Ecto Edition. I have no clue what that means. Maybe more extra slime and goo. Who knows? I have no clue.
It's fine. I'm not meaning to down remasters. Some of the remasters are actually very good. But it just, if you notice the trend in remasters by the AAA companies because they can't make a good first game.
Well, sometimes look at was it you last week that talked about the Horizon Zero Dawn getting remastered, and people are like, how's that going to work for PC? It's pretty much already, it's not that old of a game, and it doesn't really need a remaster.
Zero Dawn is kind of old because it came out on PC 8 years ago.
Yeah, but the PC version can run things way better. There's
true.
not so much you can upgrade.
That's true, but if you look at the first game, I played it enough. It definitely, the remaster looks good. The thing that I was impressed with when I mentioned last week is that they've done more than just remaster. They've actually added in some new footage. They did 10 hours more mocap in it. They've actually changed some of the cutscenes to make them...
Why is that an element, Gray? You're talking about 10 hours extra of mocap, like that should be a feature.
No. What I'm saying is they're putting it in the remaster, so they're actually adding new stuff in as opposed to just remastering and that's it. Yeah, so there's actually new stuff going in. There's also new dialogue.
Yeah.
Because I saw one and I was going I don't remember that, and it was definitely new dialogue going in too. So hey, I'm
new scenes.
And on top of that, like I mentioned last week, if you own the game, you can get the remaster for $10. That's worth it. No matter what.
I agree. That also includes the PlayStation Play at Home thing they had during COVID, which is amazing. Everyone thought that wouldn't be included. I got that, so I can pay £10 and update that. Which I
got to give them credit. They did the right thing. Guerrilla Games. They made the remaster. Yep. They added new stuff, which was not they didn't have to, and $10. So
before I win-win.
Before I get rid of my PlayStation 5, knowing that the PS5 Pro was coming out, I had downloaded both Horizon games. The annoying thing is Forbidden West was actually knocked off the PlayStation Pass. Even though it's one of their own games, it was knocked off. I got the Burning Shores DLC, and I was like, okay, I'm going to play the first one before playing the second one. Now I know it's going to be remastered. I'm going to enjoy playing that a bit more, and it's going to look good and shiny on the PS5 Pro as well.
Sure.
And Cap, if you want to shout out the name of your YouTube channel, mate, please do. We'll give it a call out there because that's impressive. 5K subs, mate. Congratulations, sir. But yeah, anyway, so moving on, there's some brilliant free games with Prime. You get some crap with Prime games. You generally do. It's probably one of the worst ones, but this month it's stellar. So on that. So I was jumping ahead of the curve earlier on when I was talking about Alien Isolation. I do have that as a news article down because that game, I haven't. I played it initially, but the thing is, I'm a big kid. I'm a big scaredy cat. I'm a pussy. I was not willing to. I was going through 10 pairs of trousers or jeans every night, shitting myself playing that game. Nope, I'm done. It looks good. I love the concept of it. I'm generally of all of that game, but I'm not paying money to scare the shit out of myself. I'm sorry. You have to pay me. I'm not paying out for that privilege. That game done so well, and everyone's like, where's the next game, man? Come on. To the point where the devs have come out and said, listen, we are working on a follow-up to Alien Isolation, which people are absolutely buzzing about. Now, very vague at the start. I have no problem with the dev saying, listen, we'll get a new game coming out and leaving it at that and giving us no more information. Mm-hmm. Just, don't give us teasers of a game that's 4 years away. I don't think we'll see it anytime soon. I don't think we see this under 3 years from now. People are hinting at that it's going to be at the end of the current console generation. So like 3 to 4 years from now.
I didn't even realize that Isolation was 10 years old. I was like, wow.
I know. How old do we feel?
It seemed like it was that long ago.
Yeah.
How old do we feel? It's listen, any of you boys played that game? And have you both completed the game?
No.
I haven't completed.
Because you shit yourself. You ran out of trousers. You ran out of trousers, man.
Yeah. And you can't really raid in it either.
I tell you right now, I was hiding in the lockers a lot.
Yeah. Under the tables, in the lockers.
And I see it going by, like, going right by.
You are talking about the game and not the changing rooms, Gray, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, just double checking. Just, do we don't want to be liable on this show?
Inclusion.
I think in some ways that was the one drawback to the game because you were hiding so much that you wanted to, you couldn't complete the game because you were too busy hiding all the time.
And there's only one of the bloody things on the ship, but yet it's enough to do the damage for you. Like, people are joking. What's the second one going to be like? It's going to be 2 Xenomorphs, and they're going to tag team your ass, man. I'm like, oh god.
Well, unless they follow in footsteps with the movies, then it would be Aliens. And
I only know a brief bit about the game, and that was literally it was Ripley's daughter coming to try and find her mother many years later. So I haven't completed the game. I barely started it, so I don't know how it finishes and how they'll carry on. But maybe I'll just try. It'll be funny to watch me play this on stream. Maybe like people. I mean, if that's not worth a free Prime sub to watch me shit myself. I don't know what it is.
There you go.
Yeah.
If I get 10,000 subscribers,
yeah.
I'll go on and shit myself. If for 10,000 subscribers, come on.
You're just seeing me sitting there really, really scared, and all of a sudden it's like,
just not moving.
what's that warm feeling?
Yeah,
right.
I'll just put on some nappies, some diapers, I think, instead. That'll do the job. So listen, I'm excited to hear about this. While I'm too scared to play it, I'm still in awe of the game, regardless. So, right, moving on. The last thing I've got, and this is for all you football people out there, and I'm my football, our football, Football Manager 25. Like the Football Manager series is for those that don't know, it's like a football management simulator game, right? It used to be called Championship Manager back in the day, the classic, and then Sega bought them over. Like the publisher is Sega, and I've played a few of these games. It's Sports Interactive that make the game, and every year, like clockwork, they come out with a new game and they update it and they add all these things in, and they usually come out about November time, and often recently it's been coming out on Game Pass. That was one of the ways you could get it. Day one, Game Pass, Microsoft swoop in with their mega bucks. But it's actually been delayed by 4 months. Now that's a big deal for a game that comes out annually. Like that's not like that's a weird thing that, and we're not exactly sure of the reason. They kind of came out and just basically saying, following discussions with Sega, their licensing partners, they've agreed the best course of action is to delay the launch until March 2025. And they're just talking about adding in new things to the game, like they're going to add in women's football. About bloody time, to be fair. And also, they use the Unity engine. So what you have in this game, back in the day, you just have, like, as the game, the football game, the match goes along, you would get a flashing banner on screen and you could speed it up and such passes to this one and score and, and all this kind of thing. It would just be text. And then over time, when it turned into Football Manager, they would bring out a 2D version of the game, so little dots passing it along. Because bear in mind, it's not supposed to be like football. It's not, what's it called? What are they calling it now? EA FC 25. It used to be called FIFA, the football game back in the day. It's not like that game. It's a management of your football manager.
Right.
So in this aspect, it was just supposed to be like a little 2D top-down view of your little guys passing and doing their thing. Then they upgraded it to be actually 3D and it looked a bit better. And now I think what they're trying to do here is actually try and get some kind of blend between an actual football management game, the management side of it, and actual FIFA, the football game now known as Football Club 2025, and blend the two together. And if they do that, they've got the holy grail there, man, because that's the EA basically lost the license from FIFA. As we know, that's why, they lost that, and that everyone knows the title FIFA. Like they govern world football, and they lost the title, and now that's why they went, we don't need the title. We've got the technology. We'll get everything else. We'll just call it FC 25. So that has been delayed. I don't really know if that will have a lasting impact on them, especially because they're on. They've got to deal with Microsoft to be on Game Pass, so I'd assume Microsoft are okay with this. As long as the game comes out and it's not broken, because if it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a try. It says here the starting point for the studio's next 20 years. So I think they've got a big thing in the works. I think they're trying to get this done properly. What do you guys make of like game delays and stuff, like, and also game delays on their own? And game delays with games that are annual releases. Like, do you think it's okay to delay a game as long as you don't do it multiple times and it comes out and it's properly working? Or are you not fussed?
I wouldn't mind, as long as it's something to do with that they're improving something or fixing something they spoiled at the last minute, then it's understandable. But as long as it's not for so long, like another 2 years, maybe 1 year, then that's kind of ridiculous to wait that long.
Yeah, they're only bringing up the expectations, because if you delay a game 2 or 3 months, then you want that game to be that much better when it comes out.
Should you do it last minute as well? Because it was due to come out in like a month. It's a bit last minute to delay a game, you should know further in advance if you need longer to polish a game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing an annual game and you're under that kind of constraint where you need to get it out every year, you better have a crew that's big enough to be able to get it out every year. I mean, it could be they're undermanned and they just didn't want to, get a lot of bad bad press on it, so they'd rather wait.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's fair. It's a bit different with an annual release. I think that mucks things up a little bit more, but I think it's sometimes
unless you're Modern Warfare or something.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I was reading something recently about there's rumours, and they are just rumours. I doubt it will happen that Apple might slow down their annual release of new products because, like, iOS 18 came out and it wasn't properly ready. Like, all the Apple Intelligence features were not ready, and that's not very Apple-esque. So they might actually bring out things when they're ready rather than annual releases. I wonder if the same could be said about video games sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Moving on from there, the gaming news side of things, we have nothing this week from Mod Corner. Gray's taking a week off until he gets a pay rise. He's on strike.
Needs to be modded.
No, but it was some of the same old stuff, and there really wasn't anything new to. I mean, there was a couple of things, but they weren't all that interesting. I'd rather bring something to you that makes more sense and stuff like that. But
Maybe we'll be back next week.
We do have the quiz.
Yeah, we do have a new quiz, and for the Heart and Hand guys, we do a little fun, tongue-in-cheek little gaming quiz, a few questions where Matt and I try and guess them, because obviously Gray's doing it and he knows the answers. And if there's only the two of us on, then we don't do it, because that kind of literally means one person's playing by themselves. Take it away, Mr. Gray. Let's see Matt run away with it again.
We still have a few people in the chat, so if you want to answer, you can.
We'll give you a moment. We won't immediately go into the answer. We'll give you like so many seconds. Do not Google it. I know you will Google it, but don't Google it and try and tell us. No, not you, Matt. I mean, the people, we can't see the people. We can see your hands here, but.
All
right. Question number 1. Which company created the original Paperboy game? Which company created the original Paperboy game?
Okay.
Anybody in chat want to answer? You can. I feel like
I'm going to guess.
Okay.
Atari's not the company, is it?
I'm going to suggest Atari.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are a company, man, and they think they did make games.
Yeah, I'd say Atari.
What do you
probably
say,
not,
Matt?
but
you're going with Atari too, Matt.
On there.
Anyone else in chat want to take a guess without looking in Google? Give you a few seconds.
Time's up.
I was going to say Nintendo, but that was
this time Matt's not right, and neither are you. It was Nintendo.
Oh, that was my second one. I should have gone for that.
It was Nintendo. I said before, no, it's Nintendo. I said that to Matt. You're having a laugh.
I was like, I should have gone with that. I should get half a point for that at least. Yeah.
Oh, Ancap doesn't like Nintendo. Listen, I know, man. Is this the whole them trying to sue everyone into existence or out of existence? If
they can try. Being successful is another story, but yeah.
True.
All right. Because they were the first with VR.
Maybe you'll be better on the second question. Question number 2,
before, haven't we?
Sorry,
we've had this one before.
The what now?
The new Junk City. I should do it, but I didn't listen.
I can't hear both of you talking.
Yeah, Ancap basically nailed it. It's the full scorched earth policy. I agree with you, mate. I think it's a bit too much, but that's a subject for another day, I think, because that would be open Pandora's box. But I agree with you, mate. Maybe next week.
If nothing else, they're consistent.
I tell you what, right? Next week is the special, the 250th. We've done 250 episodes come next week, and that is mental. We'll maybe try and do something a bit special. Maybe we'll go a bit longer. Maybe we'll have a few social drinks. Maybe we will talk about a couple of passion projects or things like the Nintendo thing. We can just go on a bit of a rant. Any opinions you've got, feel free to drop them in the Discord. Go for it, Gray. What's question 2, mate?
Question number 2. Which game begins in New Junk City? Which game begins in New Junk City?
Your mum. I have no fucking clue, man. What?
Doomslayer's granny.
What?
No. Any
we
guesses?
had this last time. Did we have this last time?
Did we?
We did.
What?
Well, guys, please say you didn't play this last week because Gray knows the answers. It means Matt's playing by himself. Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah,
we were going to, but we waited because it was just.
We haven't had this question, mate. I don't remember this.
Last few times ago.
What's the answer then?
I can't remember. I think I got this one wrong.
Jansen says Borderlands.
Yeah.
And Cap says Borderlands.
That does make
Mad
sense.
Max.
I don't know. That does make sense. So I'm not going to claim Borderlands. I don't know.
Mad Max.
That does sound right.
Yeah,
All right.
Mad Max.
Ready?
I'm just going to say Mad Max.
Claptrap looks like something out of a junkyard.
The answer is y'all are wrong. It's Earthworm Jim.
Oh, I suck at these. I was always bad at pub quizzes, by the way. Always bad at pub quizzes.
and Kev goes, damn.
Yeah, it was a good shout, boys. It was a good shout. Respect.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's see if I can get one here.
I was going to say, we got one more. This one might be a wee bit easier, but let's see. Maybe not, though.
Right.
In which year is the first-person shooter Metro Last Light set? In which year is the first-person shooter Metro Last Light?
I thought you were going to say when was it made?
2033.
Well, there was a game called Metro 2033.
Yes, that's right.
So it wouldn't be that.
Shoot.
Right, it's a guess.
34.
I'm going to say it is in the future. I know it's in the future. I'm going to guess. I think it's quite a bit. I'm going to say
2300 and something.
I'm just going to guess. I'm just going to guess and say like 2034. Like, I'm just random guess, man. I really don't know.
All right. Well, guess what, Matt?
Yeah,
the first thing you said was the correct thing. 2034.
Yeah.
2034.
Oh, that's what I said.
Matt said 2034. You said 22 something.
No, I said 2034 because the other Metro game is 2033, is it not?
Right, that's why I couldn't.
So I just put 1 year on it. I think the idea being was that must have been the sequel to it.
Yeah. There's three of them.
That's cool.
4?
Yeah.
I got one right.
Had to let him, you know.
Jansen said 2030, by the way, but wrong.
Yeah.
Not too bad. That was pretty good.
Take one off, take one. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, right. So thank you. Listen, again, plug into the Heart and Hand boys as well. I know there'll be more people from the Heart and Hand side of things, or sorry, our side, not Heart and Hand, that will come across here for the gamers out there. If people from our end want to go across there, grand. But Gray's getting a bit carried away with himself, a bit premature there.
I hit the button a little too fast, sorry.
This is what happens when you get older people. It happens, it sucks.
I have the nice logo up there now. It looks really good.
He does. Gray's been holding the fort down well recently. Well, shenanigans have been going on in my life, so no, I appreciate it. We will be back next week at the usual time, and we'll try and do something a bit cooler and special for then. But thank you, boys, for coming along. Thank you for everyone in comments, and we will talk to you next week. See you later, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.